Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Pirate101 with TheZacharyBinx. So today we are going to be finishing the That Dirty Rat, the storyline quest. We're going to be going on our new boat that we just got last episode, and we're going to try to find Ratbeard and figure out where he has gone with all of his little hooligans. And then after that, we are going to do a quick introduction to side quests. Why are they important? Why might you want to pick them up along your pirate adventure? As well as the benefits of killing two birds with one stone. And I'll explain that later when we move on to side quests. So let's go ahead and launch our boat and figure out where exactly Ratbeard has gone. Okay, I am super excited. I know I say that every single time that I play this game. But off screen, I have made multiple shorts. So please check out those short videos. I have also uploaded episodes 1 through 3. And this will be episode 4. And I'm finally starting to get some views. So that's super exciting. So, in a previous episode, I know I mentioned this, but when you are controlling your ship, as I am now, or you're in the Skyway, you can move your ship just like you would moving your character, using your arrow keys or the WASD keys. You can also click anywhere on the screen, like left-click using your mouse, and you can spin your viewpoint around in case you want to get a different angle on someone. But right now, it just says we need to go to the Beach of Blood Shoals, which is a quick little trip for us, so not too bad. Leaving our ship and heading into this cave. So you already notice a bunch of these characters already have side quests ready for us.
It looks like a crowd walked into that cave there.
We're going to be collecting those side quests very soon. I'm ready for trouble. Dun dun dun. They're not alive? Who would have known that? Let's talk to Alaska real quick.
Look upon us, you who yet breathe, and pity our cruel lot. Ratbeard, our captain, told us of a treasure for the taking. We helped him win the will, as ye well know, and sailed back here to feast in celebration. We'll soon be rich, boys. That's what he told us. But the villain betrayed us. The food was poisoned. He killed us all and left us here. A feast for crabs. He'll have all the treasure for himself. Unless you stop him, that is.
If you hear that noise in the background, that is my dog who is trying to chew on a piece of cardboard right now that he knows he shouldn't have. Well, rip that piece of cardboard is now in his intestines. Anyway, unless you stop him, we gotta stop Ratbeard. And we leveled up to level 5. So that is a great place.
Grow stronger. Come to me at once. There is something I would teach you.
Our spirits are trapped, pirate. We have unfinished business. Debts are hard, and honor that leash us here like chains of steel. You can grant me eternal rest by making sure Ratbeard never takes Gunn's treasure. But that won't help me shipmates, Manny, Mo, and Jack.
So we gotta help his shipmates and Lasco before we can continue on our Ratbeard chase.
Of all the chains holding his shipmates here, Mo's are the strongest of all. Mo wronged his true love and can't bear it. Manny there, he's a good lad. But a wrong he's done his former captain chains his soul in grief. Young Jack there, he's haunted by his dishonest deeds. Ratbeard's treachery taught him just how shameful his misdeeds were. I can't help you stop Ratbeard till I know they won't be left behind. Set their souls at ease.
Beautiful. So we just picked up a lot of storyline quests. So if we go into our quest, we can see we picked up these 3 storyline quests. We are going to be doing maybe their own videos, or maybe we're going to do all 3 in one video. I haven't decided yet. I have to go back off screen and look to see how long each of these quest lines take. But we are going to put a pause on storyline quests for this episode. And we're actually going to do some like house cleaning and a quick introduction with storyline quests and or side quests, and why I think it's important to do side quests while you are questing with your storyline. So the first side quest that we are going to be picking up right now, we're actually going to search for it, is going to be a flask of pure gold and on the ropes. So let's go pick up on the ropes real quick. So using your quest finder, I just found on the ropes, which is here in Blood Shoal. So I chose that one because that means we don't have to walk all the way back here to pick up this quest. So on the ropes is given to us by Uncle Scuttles.
Oh, a pirate, are ya? Yar, good to meet ya. Uncle Scuttles, they call me. Back in my youth, I was quite the pirate myself. Now my sailing days are over. Now I'm a shipwright, refitting ships. I get by with salvaged wood, but there's no decent rope for rigging. I'm nearly out of materials. Go out in the skyway and bring me rope from the rigging of cutthroat ships. That'll get me business going again.
Beautiful. Then the next quest that we want to search for after on the ropes is a priceless antique that's going to be given to us in Skull Island. So we're actually going to mark this spot right here so that we can come back to Uncle Scuttles, because we don't have a teleport to get back to Blood Shoals, but we always have a teleport to get back to Skull Island. So we're going to leave that here when we have to come back and interact with Uncle Scuttles. But we are going to be getting a priceless antique. And actually, before we do that, I noticed that we need to talk to our trainer. So periodically throughout as you level up through your pirate adventure, you're going to be occasionally reminded to go talk to your trainer. This usually means that they either have a talent or a power that they want to teach you. So let's look at our next lesson.
Good. It is time for a new lesson. Prepare yourself.
Ooh, yes, Daddy. Light armor. So this is really good. That means that now, once we train this, we'll be able to equip outfits that have a light armor category. And our next 2 talents that we're going to be getting are going to be at level 7. So we are going to, as I said, look for that next side quest that I wanted, which was a priceless antique. There we go. So the whole goal of this video right now is to explain why it's important to pick up side quests, in my opinion. At first, it seems like the experience and the goal that they're going to be giving is small, but over time, it can actually add up a lot. And I know for my private tier that is max level, I reached level 70 when before I had even finished the original endgame content, before recent updates in the past few years. So I think it's very vital that you work on side quests, even just a few of them, because they'll actually help give you an extra level or 2 levels, and it makes a lot of the later boss and fights go down a lot easier. Let's talk to Blind Mew.
Pirate, if I might ask you a favor. Blasted cutthroats snuck into town under the cover of night and snatched my antique telescope. Yes, I know I'm blind. The telescope is of sentimental value to me. A group of Mushu settlers gifted it to my grandfather. It's very dear to me. Get it back and I'll reward you. Go quickly before it's lost, or worse, destroyed.
Beautiful. So you might already start noticing a theme. The priceless antique. The quest is for us to gather telescopes from defeating cutthroat ships, as well as on the ropes. We also have to defeat cutthroat ships. There is 2 more quests that we need to pick up. The next one is going to be a flask of pure gold.
Hey, you! Yeah, you, pirate. You steal my flask? How am I to know you didn't thieve my golden flask? I don't suppose you know Dead-Eye Deirdre? No? It was worth a shot. You look like the unsavory sort I'm aiming to hire to find Deirdre. She stole my golden flask, and I need it back. Rumors are she's somewhere in the Skyway. I'm offering pay for the safe return of my golden flask. You interested?
I am. And last, but certainly not least, so you notice at first it says that we have to gather a golden flask from this specific person. After we turn this quest in, there will be a secondary or a tertiary quest that'll have us defeat cutthroat ships. That's why I wanted to pick that one up. And then the last one that we're going to be looking for right now is from magicians to musicians. Should be available to us. Maybe not. I don't think it is. Beautiful. Well, then we have these 3 quests that we just picked up. Let's first start with a flask of pure gold. And we are going to work on that quest until it gets to the point where we need to defeat cutthroat ships. So once you enter into like the dock of the island, instead of having to walk to your ship, you can always click this ship, go to your current ship button down here. I find that very helpful. This button will only allow you to go to your ship when you're on a dock. So if I return to Skull Island, then it'll change back to the fountain teleport button. But right now, this will just be a quicker way for us to get to our ship, our little rink-a-dink excuse of a ship. But we'll upgrade it very soon. And I think what I'm going to start doing during this episode and future episodes is that when we have to do collect quests or defeat multiple enemies, I'll probably end up showing like the first battle that I do and then skip until that collect quest is done or I've defeated like 10 of 10 enemies, just to save time and hopefully not have this walkthrough be very repetitive with fights. So right now we're just going to go to Dead-Eye Deirdre, and this will be also a great introduction for how to engage in ship combat. So you'll notice down here on the bottom right, we have, and I think that is Deirdre's ship right here. It's one of these. Yeah, it's this one. Someone's already boarded it. No worries. So we'll just wait until they're done, and then we can board it. But right now, let's just do a quick introduction of your ship features. So in the bottom right, you have your ship's health, which is in blue. So it's 360 health. You also have your boost speed. I rarely ever use this. All that it does is it allows you to use this resource that if you're a member, you can purchase back with gold. But if you're not a member, then you, I believe, have to spend crowns to get this back up to from 0 back up to max. But this just gives you an extra boost to speed through the game, or at least traveling from island to island. Then you have 4 powers. You have 2 damaging powers. For example, I have flame arrows, which is more accurate at a long range than it is at short range. So that tells me for our fights, we want to stay at that long range. And we know where the long range when the enemy, we'll do an example shortly, when this color, this target symbol is orange, that lets us know we're at long range. But when that turns to red, when we get really close, that lets us know that we're at short range. So we want to stay at long range for our fights. Then we also have our secondary attack, Crimson Fog. Then you always have your third power, your wheel power is your health or healing power to regain health during a fight. And then your sail power is always going to be a defensive or buffing ability. So this one is going to provide us a little bit of accuracy and dodge to hopefully make sure that we land our attacks. So I think what I'm going to do right now to speed up the process of finding Deidre, I'm actually going to shift realms. So if you ever want to shift a realm, because let's say there's a fight happening and you also want to be participating in that fight, we're going to click options. We're going to go to our own realm, and we're just going to go all the way to Vadima. Hopefully no one is in Vadima right now. Beautiful. So we found Deidre's, or Deadeye Deidre's ship. So like I said, we want to stay at that orange. Now we're at the orange, so now we can start attacking. So we're going to use Benediction first. It says it'll last for 8 seconds. So we want to use your buffs first, and then use both of your powers. And then when I notice that our health falls like below 10% or at 90%, then we'll start using our heals. So we'll do that now. And we're just going to essentially just keep spamming our buffs and our heals as well as our damaging abilities. You always want to make sure that when you use your buff that you, within those 8 seconds, can use one of your attacks. Otherwise, it's kind of useless. So like right now, I'm going to wait until these count down to about 5 seconds and then use my buff. That way I can ensure that that buff is applied to my horn power as well as my figurehead power. So what's good about this enemy is that we're able to actually sink the enemy. So we don't need to engage in what's known as broadside combat. I'll explain what broadside combat is in a later video. But right now we are just going to work on defeating the ship, which will quickly end this quest. Beautiful. And then after every ship battle, you can always move your ship to that like pile of like shipwreck material. That's how you collect your gold or your rewards from a ship battle. So now we'll notice we have to go talk to Rosie Harriet in Skull Island. So rather than having to fly all the way back, we'll just use our fancy teleport button. Let's go to Blood, or let's go to Skull Island. Now let's go talk to Rosie and see what she has in store for us. And then I'm hoping, depending on the timing of today's episode, I think after we do this like side quest introduction, that I want to go to the Bazaar and show you all what the Bazaar is, how it works, and how to upgrade your items that your character or your pirate equips.
My golden flask. You realize how much coin I could make selling this flask? Don't even think about thieving it from me. I'll find you. You know, I used to be a great explorer. Shocking, isn't it? I arrived in Skull Island years ago, exhausted and injured. That's when I met Tiki Tower, the water mole. He nursed me back to health. I pledged I'd help him whenever he called. Well, pirate, he's calling. The water moles are racked with illness. Tiki Tower found a cure, a dash of bitters mixed into coconut milk. I have all the bitters he needs. Tiki Tower's willing to pay if you'll deliver the bitters to him in the water.
Oh, that's kind. So you'll notice that our character just leveled up, but not in the sense of we went from level 5 to level 6. It was our nautical level. So in addition to your character level, up here it says Buccaneer level 5. Down here on the bottom, you have your nautical level. So you increase your nautical level either by completing quests that can give nautical experience or by defeating ships in the Skyway. So right now we're nautical level 2. We want to be leveling this up probably at par with our character level, because the higher that our nautical level is, the better types of ship equipment we'll be able to purchase and equip. So right now we are just going to switch over to a dash of bitters, talk to Tiki Tower in Skull Island, and luckily that's not too far of a walk. Beautiful. So here's Tiki Tower. Let's return the bitters.
Just what tribe needs. Now I cure brothers and sisters. Chief Connor Cole says sickness from missing idols.
Idols protect tribe from bad spirits. Cutthroat sharks destroyed sacred hut and stole idols. You get idols
Here we
back from
go.
cutthroats, I pay gold. You do this thing?
Accept. Okay, so this will then allow me to talk about why I think it's important to complete side quests along main storyline quests, or just side quests in general. So you'll notice the 3 side quests we picked up on the ropes. Then we picked up a priceless antique from Blind Mew, and then we picked up Skull Island Idol from Tiki Tao. That was after we completed a flask of pure gold. So these 3 side quests all require us to gather something or to collect something by defeating cutthroat ships. So instead of having to do these quests one at a time, if we have them in our quest page, then when we defeat one cutthroat ship, it has the opportunity of completing all of the quests needed. So it's a really good idea to pick up these side quests and to complete similar objectives together, and that actually allows you to save a lot of time so that you're not having to go back out into the skyway, defeat ships, come back, turn it in, and then the next quest that you pick up, oh, wouldn't you know, you have to defeat cutthroat ships again. And we'll use our ship button. And in the Skyway, just like in the pirate world, if you see these red yum yum fruits, that'll give yourself health. If you see blue yum yum fruits, that'll give your ship health. But over time, when you're not in combat, your ship is going to regain health over time. So here's our first cutthroat ship. I'm going to show this battle. So use our buff first and then our attacking abilities, and we're staying at this orange or long range distance just to increase the accuracy of our flame arrows. Okay, so I'm trying to think of a good question of today's video. What TV show do you watch on repeat that you can't get enough of? I think my TV show that I watch on repeat always that provides like good comfort is Avatar: The Last Airbender. That one just holds a very special place in my heart. But I want to know what you all watch. What TV show do you all find that you just can't help going back to again and again? So, as you notice, we just defeated that one cutthroat ship. And if we go to our quest page, that completed one of our objectives for the Skull Island Idol. We didn't collect the telescope, but we did collect the item we needed for Uncle Scuttles. So I will see you all back in a moment after I finish completing and gathering more cutthroat ships. And we're back. So as you can see, we completed all quests related to cutthroat ships, the priceless antique, Skull Island Idol, as well as On the Ropes. So I'm actually going to go to On the Ropes first, and I know it's in Blood Shoals, so I'm going to use my teleport to Blood Shoals that I put down earlier in today's episode. When I get back here, I don't want to forget that I want to put this mark down again, because we're going to be coming back to Blood Shoals a lot over the next few episodes. So let's turn in this quest to Uncle Scuttles.
Well, that rope will keep me working for some time to come. I thank you, pirate. Now ain't you got something dastardly to go do? Arr!
Beautiful, gave us some XP and some gold. Now let's go to Skull Island and we can talk to the Priceless Antique and Tiki Ta. So off screen, and I'm sure I'm going to have sped through the ship fights for you all, but you will notice that with those 3 individual quests, it took me, I believe, like 3-4 minutes to complete 3 quests at the same time. That would have taken me much longer if I had picked up each quest individually and completing them one by one.
From this day on, as this telescope is passed down by my descendants, they'll tell the story of the pirate
Aw.
who rescued it from certain...
And we're that pirate. It's always good to help out those in need. And last but not least, let's go talk to Tiki Tao. So something new that you'll notice is that this Skull Island Idol quest is going to be giving us a companion training point. So you can earn training points not just by leveling up, but by also completing certain storyline and side quests. So that's another reason why I find side quests to be very helpful, is that they can give you additional rewards, not only just gold, XP, but also training points, practice points, unique items, companions, etc.
We will put idols back where they belong, in New Watermole's sacred hut.
Perfect. And we got up to Nautical level 4. So I think we do have some time left in today's episode. So what we're going to do, instead of progressing more through the storyline or more through side quests, we just took a look at the importance of picking up side quests and completing them, side quests that have similar objectives, completing them all at the same time, which will save you time on your Pirate 101 adventure. I think it is time, now that we are level 5 and Nautical level 4, that we head to the Bazaar. That is going to be our in-game shop that we can purchase new equipment for our pirate, and not only equipment for our pirate, but also ship equipment. It's also a place that you can go to sell equipment. So if your backpack gets full and you can't carry anything else, just head to the Bazaar and see what you can sell. Beautiful. So this is the Bazaar market. So you'll notice in the Bazaar you have 3 options. You can either auction items from your bank. Auction just means to sell. You can either sell them directly to the Bazaar if these are items within your backpack. And you can also purchase items from the Bazaar. So what we're going to do now, just because I want to earn a little bit more gold, we are going to go through and sell, I believe, almost everything that we own. Now right now we're only going to be getting small change, not a lot. But I want that new level 5 gear. Rugged Cutlass. Now we can find something better. So the thing about the Bazaar is that you want to come back and visit for your pirate, if you're buying new equipment for your pirate, every 5 levels. So level 5, level 10, level 15, that is when new equipment is going to be available for your pirate. So that's when you can get a personal equipment upgrade, is every 5 levels. Your ship, on the other hand, I believe it's every 4 levels or so. Why did they not have it be consistent with pirate equipment? I have no idea, but that's just how it is. But right now, let's go ahead and let's take a look at what we can purchase. So we are selected hats, and you'll notice that there's a bunch of icons up here. So you can filter these icons. The first thing I always like to do is usable. So these are things that it knows that my pirate can put on right now. And then what I like to do is I like to sort based on class. So I'll click this once, and now I see all of my Buccaneer items, but they're not in the order of levels. I don't want to be purchasing a level 0 equipment. So after I click required class, I am then going to click sort by character level, and I'm going to click that twice. So now it's arranging by Buccaneer first, and then all of the level 5 gear, or the highest level gear that it can possibly get. So it's from these options here that I'm going to be selecting my new hat. So you'll notice there's different stats that each of these hats give you. So for example, this one gives you magic resist, strength, and base armor. This one just swapped out magic resist with agility, which we're not going to be using. This has weapon power, and I believe this is the one I'm going to end up getting. But looking at the other ones, you have this one that will trade out accuracy, this will give will, and this one will give health. So the 2 that I think that you should be getting or focusing on, especially early game, is either picking, you always want to have your attribute, which for Buccaneers is strength. So I want to be looking for strength, all of these hats all give base armor, so there's nothing to compare base armor to. But they all have a tertiary stat that it gives you that you can trade out for. So rather than 6 health, from the very beginning, I want my Buccaneer to do as much damage as possible. So my personal preference is going to go with this Fighter's Capitano hat because it gives weapon power, which will make me hit more. It gives strength, which will increase a percentage of my weapon power. So that's going to add damage. And it will also increase the likelihood that I make crits. And it gives me some armor, which will weaken enemies' physical attacks on myself. So we're going to go with Fighters. And the default colors that it has selected for your pirate are the default colors of your flag that you made way back when. So I like my colors red and gold, or burgundy and gold. So we are going to go ahead and purchase this, Yar. Now we're just going to do the same thing for our outfit. So sort based on required class, and then double click character level. So now we can see all level 5 outfits. So let's see if we find anything better than this huntsman's armor. We have weapon power strength armor. That's what I'm going to be looking for. So we're going to go ahead and click this fighter's baldric, purchase that, and let's look for some boots. Sort by class, double click level, and let's see armor, strength, strength dodge, strength agility, strength armor. Okay, so maybe that one. Armor health, weapon power strength. I think I'm gonna be. I found mine. Okay, weapon power, strength, all the damage in the world. Let's go ahead and buy that. And now we definitely need a new weapon. This spear is getting old. It's like cracking and breaking. Anyway, so you'll notice that with weapons, there's not like a required class. So any class can be equipping weapons. Instead, with weapons, if you hover over a weapon, right under the name, so right under Grim Cutlass, it says shooty slashy weapon. And then it'll tell you what the bonus is from. So the first thing you want to be looking for is making sure your bonus matches your highest stat. So in my character, which we'll press C, the highest stat for me is strength. So I want to be looking for strength weapons that get bonuses from strength. And specifically, I want slashy and smashy. It's in yellow. I want slashy and smashy weapons, or I want to look for those keywords. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look for slashy smashy weapons that give a bonus from strength. And the currently equipped weapon that I have right now, the spear, it has a base weapon power of 13. So as long as we found one that's above 13, we are going to be golden. So we found a slashy stabby for 23. But I'm really looking for slashy smashy. And the reason why is because our trainer later on will give us added attacks to weapons that have that slashy and smashy keyword. So we have slashy for 27. I believe that's higher. Yep, 27 is the highest so far, so we'll just keep that in the back of our head. See if we can get higher than 27. We have this smashy if we want to keep with a armor penetration. I don't really find armor penetration, at least early on, early on I would say it's better than later on in the game. I feel like later in the game it falls off. But early on, it's all right to have. 22, so we have that 24, 15% armor. We have the 27, and I really want high strength, so I might be aiming more towards that hook than this spear. But let's just see what else we have to pick from. Slashy smashy, so if I really wanted for a dual keyword, I could pick this up. Okay, looking more, bonus from Will. Shooty slashy. Oh, and it gives us a special power, and it gives us bonuses from strength, and it's 27. That's nice. And slashy, stabby, 20. I think 28 is the highest that we've seen so far. Let me go back and check. This deadly hook was 27. So the highest one, I'm just looking for best weapon power. 28 weapon power. It gives 1 armor, which fits for our class, and some armor penetration. So I think that's the one that we're going to end up on is Grim Blades. Let's go ahead and purchase that. Now, The next 3 items that you can get, these are not cosmetic items, so they won't change the look of your pirate, but they do add buffs. They can either give just stats, basic stats, or they can grant special talents. Now, I will say, as like a little sneak peek into a future episode, we are going to be farming for our totem, charm, and for our ring from bosses that we're going to be encountering at in the next, as we progress through the storyline quest. So it's really up to you if you at level 5 want to purchase totems, charms, or rings. I don't think you should. I think that the small amount of accuracy or health is not going to make or break the game at level 5. But at least just to have a complete set or a new complete look, we are going to purchase them for right now, knowing that we're going to sell them and replace them in a future episode. At least next episode, we're going to replace one of them. So let's go ahead and go to our backpack, equip our new look. So let's just, before I equipped our look, let's take a look at what our stats are. So right now we're at 33 strength. Our weapon power is 19 in total. That is a sad excuse of weapon and power. Our armor is at 2, and we have 137 health. Now let's see how that changes after we equipped our new hat, outfit. Oh, I'm already liking the look of this character. Of distinguished gentleman. Very demure, very cutesy. Oh, look at this. I'm already loving this new look right now. Beautiful. Let's take a look. Drum roll. Okay, went up to 44 from 33 to 44. Our weapon power went from a measly 19 to 39. We added 20. Our armor went up to 9, and our health went up to 153, which is really good. And then our accuracy and dodge didn't really change. Those are the basic stats, but we are increasing our power. So this is why it's really important to make sure that you are upgrading your pirate with your equipment every 5 levels. And then last but not least, we can't just upgrade our pirate without upgrading our ship. Let's see if we're able to upgrade our ship. So very similar to your pirate, your ship can also be upgraded. Essentially, all I'm looking for when I'm comparing all these items is which one gives me the highest numbers. I really just look for the highest stat number. So for example, 332 for repair rate, capacity, and efficiency. This next one is 542. That's a little bit better. 643, that is, I think, the best. 643 is the best, and it's cheap. So we're going to go ahead and buy that. Always make sure before you purchase these items that you do have your ship equipped. So if your ship is not equipped, then it's not going to know what items or what to purchase. Because you'll notice in the requirements it says that this one is any, whereas this one that I just purchased is a raft origin specifically. So only raft ships can equip this. So double check to make sure your ship is equipped before purchasing any equipment. So no armor, that makes sense. Let's add some cannons to our ship, increase our damage. Let's see if we can increase our figurehead. So this will give just a better repair rate. Let's see if this one does. No change in damage there. This one gives the best repair rate. So let's go ahead and equip this. And I like the little skeleton. Rudders. That one is the better rudder. But we're out of gold, so let's just go ahead and sell some gold. Or sell some items real quick. Can't be auctioned. So if anything can't be auctioned and you don't want it anymore, just go ahead and discard it. So then, I know I'm in the sell portion right now, but I can also down here just equip the new items that I have. So I'm just going to go ahead and equip the new things I just recently bought for my ship. So they don't, so there's not a chance. Oh, and I actually already have a rudder. That's nice. Beautiful. Let's go back here. So when purchasing your ship equipment from the Bazaar, I should have said this earlier. I would prioritize your figurehead and your horn first. Those are your damaging abilities. Then I would prioritize your wheel. This is going to be your healing ability for your ship. And then lastly, your sails. And then the other 4 cosmetic items, the rudders, the cannons, the armor, and the anchors, those aren't going to like add any like damage output or health stats to your ship. But what will increase that, I mean, the cannons will. But you want to prioritize having the best damaging abilities first, then heals, and then buffing your own ship. So let's go ahead and see if there is anything that we can buy right now. Let's click usable. We can go ahead and buy lightning bass, and I think that's going to be really good because that's going to go from a 1 times to a 2 times attack, and the cooldown is less, so this is more damage. And then I think that is it for today because we don't have enough gold to buy anything else. But the next time that we get more gold, we'll head back here to the Bazaar. And I hope that you found that this was a helpful introduction to side quests, to ships, equipment, where to purchase them, as well as how to upgrade your character and equipment so that you're just not a little baby pirate forever. You gotta grow up sometime. And growing up means getting new clothes. And who doesn't love to go shopping? Anyway, thank you all for joining in on today's episode. And as always, have a good morning. Bye.